7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
What up, y'all? What up, y'all? Happy Friday. Welcome to WWT Live, the Friday edition. My name is TK Trinidad, and I am not alone. We haven't seen this lady in a long, long time because she's out here hustling in those New York streets. Please welcome the sweetest Oos. Honey, how are you doing?
Buzz, y'all. Happy Friday. I missed you guys so much. Happy to be here. I was able to, enjoy a day off on a nice Friday evening. And I was like, you know what? Let me pop up on my peoples. Let's just come on in and get this weekend started right.
There it is. And the one who's been holding it down, I think Sindel gave her like her flowers the other day, the PR princess herself. Courtney, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's Friday. I mean, look, a lot of us, me and Boss Lady had to hold it down because a lot of us, we're scattered. We got things to do, and we got to make sure we give you guys some content.
There it is. Content that is good. And kind of the funny thing, too, we're all on the East Coast, which is obviously very rare.
That's a rare occasion.
That is crazy.
Rare. We're in the same time zone right now.
Yeah, it's like it's so different, like the 6 o'clock like time zone. And I'm just like, because I was just waiting. I'm like, all right, here we go. Anyways, I don't like, it's so funny. Like, I don't like being on the East Coast because I feel like I'm always just waiting for the people on the West Coast to wake up. And it's not, I don't like that.
Yeah,
it's like y'all need to wait till I wake up. Anyway.
But the good thing about being in this area is there's always something to do to keep you busy.
Yes.
True.
Always.
Very, very true. Very, very true. All right. What do you want to get started with? Do you want to well, Dylan hasn't popped up yet. I don't know if he's popping on. I was saying we can get through the SmackDown preview, but let's talk a little bit about TNA and Sunday.
Lots of news with TNA.
It's so crazy, like the return of AJ Styles. So what do you guys think of this?
Honey, you want to go first?
I'm sure. I would love to go first. I think that, first of all, for lack of a better term, this is absolutely phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I think that this is just going to pretty much hit you right in the nostalgia feels, especially if you're an indie fan, especially if you're a TNA fan from those days, because that is literally where AJ Styles has molded himself into exactly who you know and see him as today. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be very special. I think it's going to be very fun, and I think it's going to be absolute insanity for the fans. Slammiversary, their biggest event, one of their big events, and pretty much AJ Styles. I mean, what could be better than that, than a hometown, like, not a hometown hero, but pretty much company grown, homegrown hero back in our midst and on the East Coast too.
So crazy. Courtney?
Oh my God. Listen, everybody's teased this. Everybody's been saying this for months. Is AJ Styles coming to TNA? Is he gonna come to TNA? When he had his interview with Chris Van Vliet, he was teasing a little bit, but seeing that, it was like, oh my God, because TNA, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, has a special place in my heart because I watched it from 2003 up into 2005. Mm-hmm. And that's where he really stood out as one of the homegrown talents within TNA. I mean, Jeff Hardy made his debut against AJ Styles. He had countless rivalries with Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Petey Williams, helped put the X Division on the map. And also mentioning he was the inaugural X Division champion. Mm-hmm. He helped put that on the map, and he is one of the important pieces within TNA. And I am so happy. I don't know what he's going to do this week, but I do have a theory as we get into bold predictions a little bit later for Slammiversary, because I feel like there's a lot more to his return.
Yes, so you're like I said, Slammiversary is going to be happening this Sunday. So you can get on pay-per-view TNA Plus in Long Island. So definitely check that out. We'll see if we're gonna have a watch along. We'll see how that all kind of.
It looks so good. I kind of want to watch it on Sunday. It looks really good.
Yeah, we'll let you know, Bosa, because I know that's gonna be one of your questions. And for Dylan's sake, let's get into that SmackDown preview. I didn't get to ask, are you doing the watch along, honey?
Si, senora, I
There it
am.
is. So what do we got for SmackDown?
So for SmackDown, there's been a few things lined up. First, we have big moves in the tag team division. We have a tag team match on SmackDown, y'all. It's number one contendership for the titles, which my wife Six is currently holding. We have that between Andrade and Rey Fenix versus Motor City Machine Guns, not to be confused with the Magic City Machine Guns, Fraxium and DIY. So that's going to be going down tonight as well. We also have La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer versus Alba Fire, one of the secret harvests of Chelsea Green. Looks like she's gonna have, once you go through Chelsea Green, you got to go through the minions too. So this is just pretty much another side quest for Stephanie Vaquer. And then we also have the Queen, Charlotte Flair, versus one half of the women's tag team champions, Raquel Rodriguez. So that's gonna be a match for the big girls. And the Towers are going to go at it tonight. And we also have two men breathing the same air. And for the first time in a while, John Cena, Mr. 17 and Unseen, still going on this amazing run as 17-time champion, as we said he would. And Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is back. So we will be seeing them two face off. It's getting hot now. It's getting hotter and hotter as the time goes on because SummerSlam is literally nearly upon us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we have tonight for SmackDown.
And what are you most excited to see?
I'm always excited to see La Primera. Always. Always. I anything with the women lately, I want to see more fallout from Evolution, with being how wonderfully done it was and how well executed it was and how much of an impact it's made, how we're still talking about it. So anything with the women, of course, involved, especially Stephanie Vaquer. And of course,
John.
I'm just here for John, man. I'm here for John.
And then yourself, Courtney?
I mean, obviously, outside of the ladies, the ladies always do much. Outside of the ladies, I just want to see my tag team. I just want to see them go. Please give them a match. Please give them a match at SummerSlam. Please. That's all I want. I just want a tag team match at SummerSlam because the tag team, it's going to be very interesting how they are with the Wyatts because at first last week I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. So the tag team match I'm interested in. I mean, John and Cody, obviously they're definitely going to do roles. Also, I think this was floating around. I think Jelly Roll's supposed to make an appearance tonight on SmackDown.
Okay.
I think it's a possibility, but
man, what a job to have. And it's not even throwing any shade. Like, you've established yourself so much that you can get the title, disappear, and it's all like planned. It's not like he's like, yeah, I'm not just coming into work, but get the title, disappear, and come back when you want, still get a check. He's probably getting all these voiceover checks. It's a nice year to be John Cena.
It sure is. It sure is. It's so funny because I was just saying to Pat, I was just like, it's so crazy how he's gone from Mr. You Can't See Me to now he's literally everywhere. You can hear him in every damn commercial, even the car commercials, McDonald's commercials, and Peacemaker and TV shows and all this, appearing in movie cameos. If anyone has seen Superman, sorry for the spoiler, but I actually did a spoiler. Look at that, guys, growth. But yeah. So see how funny it is that he's gone from Mr. You Can't See Me to literally being seen everywhere. And we're literally going to just keep basking in it. He's going to make sure that we do.
Can't forget about the hefty commercials. Can't forget about those.
Oh my God, stop.
Yeah, kudos to him. It's just he did it on his own. I think the blueprint of that era was The Rock, but he managed to kind of carve out his own niche. Which is good. But yeah, can you just imagine, you've been at the job appreciates you, and he's like, look, I'm ready to retire, and this is how I want to retire. And yeah, I don't want to be here for every single day. I just want to hear you got these dates. And they're like, yeah, okay.
He's literally hanging out on a little tour. It's not even like the Summer of Cena tour or anything like that. No, This is John Cena retirement tour. Oh, and then you get to see me here in commercials. Oh, and you get to see me here in movies and stuff. I'm everywhere now.
He's just like, I'm here. I'm here to work, and I'm just gonna be doing everywhere. Like after this, I'm gonna be going to Paris and wrestle.
Crazy.
Cena has quite a schedule.
Quite.
We have to get an update tonight on how many dates left.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
man,
sure we'll get that.
But speaking of, him having a limited schedule, somebody who has a really great schedule, obviously, is WWE and their partnership with Netflix. So according to Variety, WWE has generated more than 280 million viewing hours on Netflix in 2025. So Courtney, what do you say about this crazy amount? And do you think, I think it's kind of obvious, but the partnership with Netflix and WWE, how do you think it's going thus far?
it's crazy because we're in Q3 now, and it's like the first 2 quarters have come and gone.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of knew. I think they knew what they were expected, strategically wise, because I not in those meetings. I can't be thinking in the top of my head, but having those strategic meetings, and especially the expectation they knew was going to be hot because you're signed with Netflix, you're signed with one of the top streamings in the world, and also creating that opportunity where we do see a lot of WWE stars attending events related to Netflix. So that's also an added bonus there. And also with the fact too, they have some of their top tier stars. You see main event Jey Uso, you see Seth Rollins, you see Braun Breaker. Now the Tribal Chief, he's back. That's gonna put a lot of butts in seats. Also, CM Punk is on there, and John was on there for a little bit. So there's a lot of factors, and also, of course, Rhea Ripley, because a lot of the fans love Rhea and Io. Can't forget about the ladies, and now Naomi's on there. But that's really interesting to see. And Billy Dillon. I'm not even going to comment on that. But anyways, they are doing a good job with Netflix. And I got to give kudos to them. It's just it's going to be interesting how the numbers be for Q3 and Q4.
Right. Yeah. And Courtney and I did talk about this. Like, I don't know why, or if this has been discussed and maybe knocked down, like we just don't know, like, AEW and Prime. I think that would be a really great place for them. Who doesn't shop on Amazon? So like, who doesn't have a Prime account in some way, shape, or fashion? But we're not in those meetings. However, I did say I want to definitely see the numbers, and so this is a really great thing. 280, like it's crazy. But speaking of crazy, on a Friday, the councilman has showed us.
Put the pinkies in the air! Your councilman is here!
Oh my goodness.
He's back from sabbatical.
How you doing there, councilman, and returning from the streets?
Your councilman is tired.
Okay.
He has champions everywhere.
Gotcha.
And it's a lot of work. But it's Friday. It is slightly slow right now. So I thought I would come and grace WWT with the councilman's presence.
There it is. Do you have any words to say about Netflix and the amazing numbers that WWE has done thus far?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm welcome. You're welcome.
Oh my goodness. Well then.
For all of us. Just for all of us. I'm not trying to say nothing, but if they're not watching WWT and taking what we be saying, I'm calling them liars.
Listen,
calling them liars. We have built the universe for the last 6 months. TK, you should be proud of yourself. You have been making moves. They have been taking our advice. Somebody is watching.
We could literally make a list.
You're welcome.
Like legit.
You're very welcome. Remember where you heard it all from. Women's Wrestling Talk.
We are the whole damn show, y'all.
Well, there it is. Not even charging them, so that's a good thing. So let's also get into it. WWE has discussed sending Omos to AAA for a run. What do you think of this? Because he got let go and then he got re-signed. Do you think one, I mean, I definitely think there is a place for him in AAA, but do you think there's not a place for him on like SmackDown or NXT or, any of the other brands that they have? We'll start with Honey.
I think there is. I think there's lots of room for somebody like Omos. Especially now that he's just probably one of the few actual big guys left.
Big guys
of that stature. I mean, yes, granted, we just got. I'm not calling him that. I call him Big Tonga. You know what I mean? We don't have the likes of Braun Strowman or guys like Baron Corbin, but bigger guys now are considerably guys like Drew McIntyre. But I think there could be a place for Omos being a dominant force. It's just a point of having the story make sense. And it has to make sense for him creatively and put him in a spot where we can actually be able to appreciate his talents, and he's able to showcase that better than he has been able to in previous years. So I think there is a place for him. It's just a point of it making sense.
I mean, according to Bosa, Councilman looks taller today, so I don't know if you've grown since we've last seen you.
Yes, I have. I'm standing on my wallet right now from all of these. I told you I've been busy. Councilman's been out here making moves.
Everybody, I love it. I love everybody.
Everyone's making moves. And
I love everybody.
I'm not making Honey McDuck money. Let's just get that clear. Definitely not making that.
And you should be very proud of me, because since you were on sabbatical, I was able to do NXT recaps on Wednesdays while you were gone. So
why are you not doing them on Tuesdays?
Because she does the news show on Wednesday.
The other show.
I do WWT. I do NXT recaps for WWT on Wednesdays.
I ain't been here long enough. I'm sorry. I'm still proud of you. Thank you. Thank you for holding it down.
Courtney been holding it down.
Courtney has. Every time I do get a chance to see live, it's like Courtney's face is up there. I'm like, yo, Courtney is spearheading the
yes. Sindel gave her the flowers the other day.
Yeah, yes. She's been holding it down. You have definitely been.
I have to make sure we got to show love to NXT, because even though you were on sabbatical,
not just in general, just like not even just NXT, like everything. Like a lot of people, we all been busy this summer, just trying to get our bearings situated and everything like that. So, just the fact that you've been holding it down from Monday through Friday, like, you deserve it.
Yeah, and then 6 hours on what day was that? Saturday.
Well,
yeah, Saturday. 6 hours.
All the matches.
Yeah, all the flowers to you, Courtney.
Thank you.
There it is. So wait, so are we, so it's like, wait, did we finish talking about this? So are we for this run? We not for this run? I mean, it's alleged, so nothing's confirmed.
I think that's the best place for him to go, because I agree with Honey, but I don't agree with Honey. He don't have nothing right now for him over there on Raw or SmackDown. It ain't enough time to scope out his story that he needs.
Right.
Like, for a big dude, we got to see him like be dominant.
Right.
So we got to see him demolish like several people weeks at a row. But no one can really take an L right now, and that's the thing we're noticing with a lot of these superstars, especially with a lot of them getting injured.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of them can't take L's. Like Braun can't take no L and get like it can't be a squash match. Like Bronson can't take a squash match.
Penta can't take an L.
Yeah, none of them can right now. Now, if they were anywhere besides AAA, maybe NXT.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. But because of the storyline that he needs, and because of the times that we moving and how fast we moving right now, when it comes to story, when it comes to all these PLEs, it's just not a lot of time to develop the story you need for him. And then too, like, can he talk on the mic? Does he need a manager? Does he need MVP or someone like MVP by his side?
Yeah. The question is, because I know we did see Lola Vice on AAA, and I don't think WWE has made reference, like in their commentary, to that as far as like those storylines. So I wonder if there's going to be more weaving of the storylines throughout. Like, they make reference to NXT, even a little bit of the Speed Championship, etc. Do you think it'll be beneficial for them to start including that?
Yes and no. I think they sent Lola there just so she could sharpen her skills in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And especially just get more under her repertoire and being able how to give a presence to that. But I've watched some of the stuff on AAA, and it's more like she's getting put in matches, which are great, but I don't see nothing like developing like rivalry wise of what's
okay. Anything to make
Yeah.
note of. Okay.
But if it was, it could be like when she makes her return to NXT, you know, like how to do them vignettes where it's like, yo, I've been here, I've went down to AAA so I can get better, and now I'm back to be able to take what it is that I wanted, which is the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing could go for Omos and just becoming a spectacle there, and then just seeing what could do. Yeah, and also too, like I think TNA would be dope. I think TNA and NXT could be Omos's like best, like where he's going right now might be his best thing right now. Because you talking about that, I could see him stopping Omos's run. I mean, not Omos's, Oba's run.
I was just gonna say he's probably one who would be validated to qualify to beat Oba for his title.
Which honestly too, and he didn't do the NXT run. So it's like, yo, let us get a chance to know Omos outside of being the 7-foot giant.
But here's the thing, like maybe like you have all this character development and you did make mention of it. Maybe like him having a manager, like everybody needs to speak everybody needs to be able to cut a promo in order to get to a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd say 99% of the people, but some people could get away with it as they're developing their skills, like behind the scenes. But given the fact that, you know, there's nobody like him, there's not, you know, who else is his size and stature and stuff like that, he would benefit from having like a manager to tell his story. But then the question is, who will that be? And I think Courtney and I, we talked about it on Wednesday, you know, with Seth being injured, is Paul Heyman gonna jump ship and, you know, is there gonna be somebody else that he's going to be repping, or are they gonna continue on that path? Because can you imagine what Paul would do with Omos?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense.
I don't see Omos as a Paul Heyman guy.
You don't see it?
Nah, not to like deflect from like, I'm trying to say this to where it's not too disrespectful. For Paul Heyman, that's a big drop. Like Paul Heyman got a bag of quality from the Beast, the Tribal Chief, the Architect. I don't see Paul starting with such a like prospect like that to try to build up, especially at this time.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It almost might be like a challenge. Like it's kind of one of those things. Like we know there's like it's like a sports agent, right? A sports agent. He's a top sports agent. Somebody's coming out of like he's a top #1 pick out of draft pick coming out of college. You know that guy's automatically gonna go with that sports agent. That sports agent's gonna get him like a ridiculous amount of money. Then, you know, that sports agent takes somebody who wasn't even going to make it in the draft and makes magic. And then that person then becomes magic. Like, it's kind of like, and I think Courtney, you said, Will, you'll like this reference because I've been in the Marvel universe for like a week now. It's like just a different timeline, what Paul would do with him. Like, I see what you're saying. He's not necessarily a Paul Heyman guy right now, but if we were to put them together and Paul felt like I need a challenge, like, you know, can I make this work? What would that look like?
Yes, I get that to your point, and I like the reference that you used. That was great. But the thing is, where we're talking about, both of them are at the same level. So Omos is here, and the faction he has now with a Braun Breaker and a Bronson Reed, that still is the same type of work you'd have to do anyway.
Right.
But the thing is, he already has both of these people got the crowd behind them already. And they're already being looked and groomed to be the next champions. Like we saw with Braun Breaker running the whole gauntlet, and everybody really felt like he should have won and pinned CM Punk. So you already have that there, and that's already becoming a challenge. So like to go and start over in a different timeline, sure. But I think for Omos, you need someone who is going to be strictly dedicated to him.
Yeah.
and wanting to build him up.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the thing of like, I don't know who we have as manager wise that would do that. I know who could, but again, like, I don't think he'd have the time to be able to do it. But it'd be dope if Mark Henry was his mouthpiece.
Oh, yeah, Mark, that would be really good to have Mark Henry.
If Mark Henry was his manager, then
That'd
you
be
get
interesting.
Now you're cooking something. Now you're cooking something.
That would be, yeah, I would like to see that.
It needs to be somebody with substance that could speak well, that could deliver, that's just as tough.
Right.
Nobody else, no nonsense. Nobody's gonna mess with him either, just as much as they wouldn't mess with Omos.
Right.
And know how Omos needs to be approached and how to move. So what to say, when to be able to speak. Paul Heyman is great, but there's still that thing that would be kind of missing between him and Omos that I don't think he'd find a connection fully with. But with someone like Mark, it's like, yo, that's big man to big man. So it's like, I know what I've had to do to try to do that. Yeah, I know what I've had to say. I know how I've had to talk on the mic is that, like, if you want to get to where you need to go, this is it.
And there's a certain, there's also a certain understanding with a legend like Mark, a big man like Mark, someone of his experience, to be able to relay that type of experience and tutelage onto Omos would be super helpful for him too.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We talked about this, and I definitely want to get everybody else's opinion on this. So we have Nikki Bella hopes WWE Evolution becomes a yearly event. Like I feel like the majority of people I've spoken to. Why not it be a theme? And then we saw with the press conference or the media scrum, Triple H, pretty much just said, they don't necessarily need it. He didn't say there's gonna be one. He didn't say there's not gonna be one. So, honey, what do you think? I mean, yeah, what do you think of this? You watched Evolution. It's 7 years, since the first one to this one. You saw how it went down. Do you think we need another one, or do you think this should be, a one-off and, it is what it is?
I literally put this post up, and shout outs to WrestleBuzz, that's somebody I collaborate with on socials. I literally put this post up, and on the bottom there, it says, make Evolution annual. Like immediately after the show was done, because I was just thoroughly satisfied with how well the women executed each of their matches from beginning to end, showing love to the legends that were there. So I mean, it felt like a very special event, and it felt like it was literally truly dedicated to the women of wrestling in WWE history, and even going into the future. So it was just and each match was pretty much a damn clinic. It was, I enjoyed everything about it. So I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to having it annual, because it's just something I want more of. Like, I would like to see more of, if that.
Well,
I asked this like I asked on kayfabe when Honey said the same thing. If you got everything you wanted from women's wrestling, as in main event, and I'm talking about consistent, like no, like, oh, it's just like this became a consistent thing. We weren't worried about like women not getting enough time, women not being on the main event, women not being in the PLE. If that all changed and we were having that consistently, do you think we still need Evolution? Because this last Evolution showed me something I don't think a lot of people saw when I watched this.
He did explain this on kayfabe.
Well, I think it's a timing thing. There's only so many storylines you can fit, and they're fitting a lot across the platforms. But a one-off once per year, even if you do have, and you can't have, and the thing is, it's kind of like, I'm not even going to say that because I just don't even want to bother with that. But it's like, you can't give, yes, women's wrestling talk. I would love to see women main event every PLE, right? But that's not what's going to happen, because you have to satisfy so many different folks.
Well, no. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if we going into a different timeline, we say like, yo, because okay, so I'll explain the first part first. From what I saw in Evolution, especially with something Stephanie said, the shift is about to happen in the next 3 years, 3 to 5 years. because of everything she kept talking about. And the main thing she particularly focused on was NXT.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's
Crazy amount of women coming out of that from.
Yeah, when I tell you, like, they are finna to take over Raw and SmackDown.
Right.
And that's what Evolution showcased, was that, yo, like, get out the way, because y'all tried first, y'all didn't take us seriously.
Mm-hmm.
You tried to hold us back. You tried to undermine us. And then look what we did with 3 weeks of promotion. And not only that, in a weekend filled with wrestling,
mm-hmm.
we walked out the best PLE that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And closed off the weekend.
The weekend. So that's why I say, like, within the next 3 to 5 years, if we're here where it's like, yo, we don't even think of it to where it's like, yo, like, when are the women getting a shot? It's like, no, like, Bianca Belair is closing out SmackDown. Io Sky versus Stephanie McCurry is closing out SummerSlam. Like, and it ain't no thought about it. Do you still need one?
Well, I think you said the key words, getting a shot versus it being like, do we need all these PLEs?
Well, then that's the thing too. I don't think we need all these PLEs.
Like, the ones in Saudi, like, those were added, obviously, like, we already know the history of that.
The one in Paris, Clash in Paris was already added, Crown Jewel.
So it's like, do we need all these PLEs? And if we're going to do all these additional PLEs, why not have this? So I agree with you. In the next 3 years, I mean, where we've come from 3 years ago to now is insane. So I agree with you. In the next 3 years, it's going to be crazy. But I also feel like the caliber of wrestlers, period, is going to be crazy. Like what we had 10 years ago, as far as, there was a percentage, let's say hypothetically, there's a percentage of maybe 50 to 60% of wrestlers who can do a decent promo. Mm-hmm. Now you have these people coming out of, NXT and just in general, it's like 70 to 80% where they're coming out and they can talk. Mm-hmm. So the talent alone across the board, male or female, is crazy. And that, I think, will be where it's just like, okay, it's another PLE to highlight whatever storyline. And this is where the legends can get involved in more, not like a one-off, but a lead up to that. So, this is where you can have the people like Lita and Trish Stratus and stuff like that. And it doesn't have to be a Royal Rumble or a WrestleMania and stuff like that. So I feel like, yes. And then why not give it a chance? And I think that's the other thing that I was frustrated about, because if they say that they're not doing this next year because of the numbers or because of the ticket sales, you fall into the same trap that they said the first time around, where it's just like, yeah, we didn't have the numbers of ticket sales, but you didn't build it. Right. So at least give them 2 to 3 years.
But then that's when you got to call BS on them, because then you have to say the same thing about Backlash. You have to say the same thing about Money in the Bank. You have to say the same thing about Night of Champions. You have to say the same thing about Saturday Night Main Event. You would have to tell me all of those ticket sales didn't do well because you only gave 2 to 3 weeks worth of promotion. Even for SummerSlam, we're 3 weeks away from SummerSlam, and we're just now finding out what matches are. And then right after that, we have 3 more weeks, and then Clash at Paris is coming in.
Yep.
So it's like, yo, like y'all are I know the crowd you're feeding. You're feeding the ones that are just like Netflix watchers, the ones that binge these seasons like that. And it's like, okay, well, where's the next one? Okay, so we gotta give them this to be able to keep and grab their attention, which is why we're not focusing on elongated stories as much, but the ones we do have in the back that do tell a long story will trickle these in a little bit precisely. So it's like you can't say that it's ticket sales. You can't say that it's any of that's going on, because this is how you're moving now. So if you do that, we'll have no choice but to call you out on it.
And also, I'll throw in with sponsorships, because Boss Lady, we were talking about this on, I think it was Monday or Wednesday, because even though Maybelline was one of their sponsors, and this is just a PR girl and me, 6 weeks to do a campaign, that's a bit of a stretch. And I would have my hair like literally thought out, because you're with one of the biggest beauty brands. And I only seen 2 posts on social, like 2 to 3 posts. And it's like, there was so much that they could have done where it would extend it a little bit and have that little bit opportunity there. And also, you have a lot of makeup artists that are in the building that could have used a lot of Maybelline products and be like, hey, sponsored by Maybelline, this is what we put on like such and such women's wrestlers. So I think strategic wise, there could have been a lot of different angles regarding the sponsorship, because if you're going to plan to like at least getting another beauty brand to showcase or sponsor,
Mhm.
that's also another factor in there. Because for me, like 6 weeks, that's
Well, to
like,
be fair, Selena just dropped hers. So, and they're now,
Yeah.
she's fully signed with Maybelline.
oh, okay.
Yeah. And then there's also that thing too. We know like WWE and TKO, they work a little weird when it comes to pushing them and brands together before these things drop.
Right.
Like we've always known that most of the time, if it is like a branded deal, it's a full-fledged commercial.
Right.
Like you get to see it where it's like, okay, you're utilizing social media correctly with the brands that you're using. Like seeing Zelina's video, I was like, I agree with you, Courtney. I was like, yo, this would have been cool to drop before Evolution. But I also see now what you're doing, because now you're using something more long term, which means, okay, now you got Maybelline just locked in with y'all. So then that means, okay, is Maybelline now supporting the products in the back with all the girls doing their makeup? Does Maybelline pay for that fully? So it's like they're using it in different aspects on how they're utilizing these partnerships with them. And who's to say, like, we may even see that tonight when we have on SmackDown, when we have some of the women's matches like Stephanie McCurry and Alba Fire, that may be sponsored by Maybelline.
I hope so. I hope so.
Which is
Maybe she's born with it.
maybe she's Maybelline, which is crazy though, because when you also think about that, at one point, I can't remember, maybe it was Kyle, or I can't remember who I was talking to. At what point does it become oversight? Like TKO and WWE, like sponsorship is always a great thing because everybody gets paid. However, at what point does it become oversaturated with sponsors like the Slim Jim table? And now say if we have, Stephanie Valkyris, she comes and they're like, this match is sponsored by Maybelline, and now they're outlining like at what point, and it's not a knock against Maybelline, just in general, at what point does it become like, okay, like it's not just pure wrestling anymore?
I mean, I would say the same thing with your website. Do you need 36 ads on one page? No. Does it make you more money? Yes. Which
yes and no, but here's the thing. If one ad made the same amount of money on the website, then I wouldn't put 36 ads.
But if you had 36 ads all making different amounts for you, are you not going to take that? Especially if we're because again, if like even the question you're asking, we're past the purity of wrestling. We're not in that no more.
Yeah.
Like that big guy.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, at what point? So going back to the website, so y'all just check out www.talkpod.com. If you're going back to the website, right? At what point is it like, okay, because there's some websites you go to that there's so many pop-ups that you're like, I can't do this. Right. So is there going to be a point, or is there a point in WWE's mind where it's just kind of like, okay, this is our breaking point? Or is it more like the Super Bowl model where it's just like, we're only, making room for, I don't know, 10 sponsors, right? But every year or every 2 years, they're raising the amount. So if you can't afford this amount, then we move on to the next, which eventually might be a problem, because I worked with another company and that turned out like they had to sell the company.
It's strategic. Like even to your point, like with the website, although you have those, you don't have pop-ups. So you know what I'm saying? Like when I if you go to there, you scroll, I'm not bombarded with, okay, I'm trying to click on this story. Bow, go buy this. It's like, no, it's on the side, which makes me go, oh, I never seen that.
Right.
Let me click on this. Same thing with them. It's like, yo, and then two, they're now utilizing them more as far as getting back to using wrestlers for these things and making it a little bit longer with the brands that they're using. Because the fact they've been rocking with Slim Jim for what, the last 6 years now. You know what I'm saying? Like LA Knight been eating off of that, and now they done added Jimmy Uso to it. Yeah. But now even Minute Maid, like Minute Maid has a fire commercial. Another thing that Jay Uso is in, TurboTax. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now they're taking these larger than life characters and really putting them within this world again, kind of like how they used to do during the Attitude Era. So it's just now, and they know that's what sells. But I think, like to your point of when we've gotten too far is when we're slapping it, and something you and I talked about, when you're starting to slap it on the wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
When if I have to see Randy Orton come out in Snickers trunks,
Oh my God,
to wrestle a match, that's when I'm like, okay, now we're doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing way too much. I don't mind the weapons because it's like, cool, it's a design thing. I think that's dope. Pulling out, like when they said the Slim Jim ladder, I'm like, I'm not mad at that. Because again, who would have thought to make a brand name ladder?
no,
Right.
And none of us, I think, was it Slim Jim or
Or
Fireball?
was it a table?
I think it was Fireball. Fireball.
Fireball had the ladder. Slim Jim had the
The
table.
table, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, we already see that in commercials sometimes where they're getting slammed through stuff and Slim Jim is right there. So it's like, yo, taking stuff and bringing it to reality. It's just, yeah, C4 energy with commercials. It's just like, again, we consume product so much and it's going so fast. We require so much intake of media to where it's like, yo, we need these brands to pay for this.
Right.
We need these brands to get here. But to your point, it's when we start getting to where it's like, hey, Jey Uso, can you just wear Penn's motor oil right here when you come out and go yeet?
Because eventually what also will happen, I think, is if you start putting too much, then it's just kind of like where commercials used to be, right? You couldn't fast forward through television, so you had to sit through the commercials. Now you pay, I don't know, an extra $20 or $10 or whatever to get commercial free, television on Hulu and Netflix, etc. So they have to find different ways to present it. But then does our mind now go, now you stop seeing the table, like stop seeing the logos on the brand. So now does it become ineffective? That's kind of where I'm wondering, like, at what the balance is. There's people who are far smarter than me, so I'm sure they have a game plan, but I'm just like wondering, like,
honestly, you'd be surprised how many people are still watching commercial straight, like,
yes,
on these shows. There are a lot of people, me included, that actually have the commercials playing. I have it for a different reason, but other people, that's what they're used to. Like, I watch it just so I get a chance to see my friends' commercials pop up. Like, one of my homegirls is in a Cash App commercial that comes on Netflix,
right?
And I geek every time I see her right there. So that's why I keep commercials on, to support my actor and actresses friends. But there are a lot of people who don't want to pay the extra. It's like, hey, I don't mind the commercials. Almost to the point where you sacrificing, like I bitch about it all the time, where it's like, yo, go to commercial one more time while my client is coming out.
But here's the thing. When the commercial comes on, like, there's sometimes where commercials pop up on my stuff. That's when I do something else. Like, I am so, like, and literally the only time that I actually, like, kind of going to your point where I see, like, my friends on the commercials when I'm at the gym. Because he has regular...
See, TK, we were doing so well.
What?
Until you said that.
What?
Until you said that. You got the attention span of a goldfish.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it. I go and do something else. I have
so
four screens.
You don't count.
My place.
The fact that the only reason why we've kept this much eye contact with you, because 5 screens aren't in front of you.
You are right. There's only one screen, and it's
exactly.
Like,
so it's so again, your attention span will throw you off. And again, there are people. There is a percentage of the audience that are like that. But you got to remember too, Middle America still watches this, and Middle America is used to having commercials.
Yeah,
used to doing that, so they can go to the bathroom or they can start watching those and then see, like,
grab a snack.
Yeah. And it still does the job it's supposed to do.
Why are you laughing, Jeffrey? Like, for real? That's what we doing, Jeffrey? All right.
It was like, yo, you was good till you was like, but I said, I go like,
yeah, I prefer not to. I'll do if there's like a commercial, it's like, I know I have about 90 seconds to do something else.
But you prefer commercial free, and that's no problem, because they have those sections dedicated for you. Like, even when we watch PLEs, you don't like commercials, so we'll catch you up with the story for the next match,
right,
to keep you involved. But for these others that may not want to do it financially, that may want to support people or just enjoy commercials,
right,
there's still that there.
There it is. Well, we'll see how it all goes as my dog tries to get in the shots, because I don't have 5 screens.
Big Beulah.
The world traveling dog. So we have Lyra. She's saying I've gotten to show more of who I am on the mic since coming to Monday Night Raw. So I was gonna say Sed is not here. The mayor's not here to discuss that part. But what do you guys feel about this?
Courtney, what you think? How's her confidence and her personality been since this has happened?
Well, since the person that supported Lyra, she has gotten better. She has gotten a lot more comfortable, and I think that's what she needed, is a boost of confidence. Because I know people, when she first won the title, people thought she was boring. She's not doing anything and anything else. I was like, hold on for a minute. I'm not getting off it yet. I'm still going to support this lady no matter what. And she's now starting to show a lot more character since she's been working with Becky. She's been working with Bailey and really starting to really get confidence and believing in herself. And if you have not watched Raw, you better go watch her match that she had on Monday.
Ooh.
Because that was so good. And also with the fact too, that really showed a lot of confidence and resilience from Lyra. And I'm really excited to see where her character development starts to grow, especially going into SummerSlam. And probably one of the biggest matches she's going to have. So I want her and Becky to continue cooking. I just want her to continue the confidence. Just keep chugging away, Miss Raven.
Honey?
It seems like Bird Lady got a lot left in the tank. And, I respect it. I'm here for it. I respect it, and I respect it, and I'm here for it. No, I love it. Lyra has been improving, and I'm glad to see it. I was a little, of course, we were a little worried there in the beginning. I think she's completely solidified as one of her, as one of the ones in the big game now. Like you're in the big league now, and you've established your spot here, and she's, believe it or not, in some way, shape, or form for the future, has shaped the Intercontinental Women's Championship in the way it's going, and then of course you add the prestige with Bailey and Becky being there. I think it made for a great recipe at Evolution. Once they got through that. Lyra, I just want to see more. I want to see more. I want to see what you got. If you got, she got more left in the tank. Let's see it.
I also think too, what people don't realize, like it takes a moment, like not everybody hits the ground running. Like they have the talent, but I think it takes a moment to get used to like the big stage, to really kind of get into who your character is supposed to be, etc. And so it takes some people longer than others. I mean, you think of, Roman Reigns. At one point, they were pushing him down our throats for years. Like I remember that time where Cena cooked him in a promo. Like it's just like they were doing that for years, and then finally it just all clicked. And now it's just like the people who weren't fans are just losing their ish. It's like, oh my God, he's the best thing since sliced bread. But you don't remember those dark days where
yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns fans from day one will never forget those dark
days. So
I remember them great contacts he had in, and I still support it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just kind of like
and Succotash, Baron Corbin bathing him in dog food and
oh my God, the dog food, that was crazy.
The baby teeth before the veneers.
SummerSlam.
We were there.
SummerSlam, we faced off against Brock Lesnar, and they were both booed out the building.
His announcement when he had to leave us for a while, and then came back and went in remission. Like Roman Reigns has given us moments.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they, we had to, but the ones who were fans, we allowed him to cook, and the ones who weren't, I mean, you couldn't say anything. Vince wanted to do what Vince wanted to do, and it turned up to, it was a payoff, but how long did that take? Now I don't think WWE and where we are in this world, we have the ability to allow somebody to cook for that long. But for Lyra, it took a couple of months? Like,
That's
well,
fine.
and her stuff is different too, and that's the thing that I think she is a good message of to those that have been in the independent game for quite some time. Start working on promos. Start working on being in the crowd. Because that's the difference between a lot of these NXT girls is that they started training at PC. So that's incorporated with the training. And you know, Lyra, I've already said it when she faced him at Evolution. Like they were like, "Yo, like I don't know if Lyra gonna be able to hold her own with the two horsewomen." I was like, "Yo, in ring wise, that girl right there with them,
and toe to toe."
Yeah, and I was like, it's her personality that got to catch up. But it's something the professor has always thrown out when he used to talk about Trick Williams. And Boza put it in the comments as well. Lyra needed that chase. Lyra needed to see what that was. And now that you have the best horsewomen in Bayley and then the second best horsewoman, Becky Lynch, behind you. So
in your opinion, everyone's
opinion. So
not everyone's opinion.
I mean, who's the more decorated one and who's doing the most is Bayley in consistency. But you know, hey, to each his own. To each his own. Okay, I'm a rosebud. You a man. That's fine. That's okay. But to have those two people believe in you enough to go to toe with what you're doing, and for Bayley to go over so you can go to SummerSlam. Lets you know like that's how much you've improved and how much that's going to be needed, especially with the WWE ID program and all these people coming in. Like you can't be Bret Hart. You got to be the full package all the way through, from style, from in-ring, and from mic skills.
On that note, I got
Was she not the male Bret Hart at the time before this? We like the wings. She had the style, but when she got on that mic,
I thought CD.
She is
laughing her ass off because y'all know that's true. Also said, I know our next WWT debate.
Oh Lord.
No.
Who's the greatest Canadian wrestler?
Who's the greatest Canadian? I need to be on that conversation.
Who's the greatest Canadian wrestler? We can do one for the men and one for the women.
We sure can.
That's gonna get very interesting.
That's probably gonna make me mad. I'd rather not.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Canadian wrestlers because Kurt Angle actually has a plea to fans everywhere because he seeks lost media footage of his unaired match with Owen Hart just 5 days before Hart's tragic passing. He said this recently on Twitter when he reached out to the entire wrestling community in hopes of finally seeing the footage of the memorable encounter, and it has become a famous piece of lost media among wrestling fans. He actually went into saying in 1999, I had the privilege of wrestling the legendary Owen Hart in a dark match in the WWE 5 days before his unfortunate death. Till this day, I haven't seen any footage of it. If anyone has ever seen the footage of my match with Owen, message me in the comments below. Thoughts?
That's crazy that we like in a world where like those things are lost. Like that's wild. That's not in like an archive right now.
Somebody has to have it.
Somebody gotta have that.
And if you do have it and you're someone who shouldn't have it, return it. Because we all want to see it. I want to see that shit too.
I would love to see Kurt Angle.
Owen Hart and Kurt Angle. Listen.
I know that was insane.
Take my money. Put in a bid for that tape.
Oh my goodness.
But
somebody better find that footage.
I mean, I would hope so. I mean, was it his footage? Did he specify that, or like?
No, I think it's just one of those. I think it's like a regular match.
Yep.
That was it.
It was unaired.
Yeah. So they don't know if it was like filmed or if anybody has footage of it.
Okay, so maybe
it wasn't. Like, it didn't make like Monday Night Raw or anything like that.
If he's pleading for that footage, that match must have been damn good.
That much had
and so we're gonna have to hunt down
Somebody got it.
So this is just a PSA from WWT. If you have that footage, please tag Kurt Angle. Please.
Yes. Or else he'll
Please.
make your ankle hurt. Because he's the sexy Kurt.
He'll make your ankle hurt. Hands off the merchandise. No, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going because we got bold predictions a little bit later. Just a quick AEW news. I mean, of course, they're off the heels of All In Texas. I mean, this is no surprise because we knew All In was gonna be at Wembley Stadium, but they officially got the date in. It will be August 30th, 2026 back at Wembley Stadium next year. So there has been a lot of buzz. They will be back in the UK. So that's going to be exciting, but
I mean, I guess.
I mean it's just quick.
I'm just like, yo, why y'all like? Can y'all go somewhere else? Like, are y'all that scared?
Why y'all scared to go everywhere else for?
Yeah, like y'all did good.
Y'all afraid a little competition.
Yeah, like yo, go to Vegas.
Come through. We'll make a space for y'all.
Yeah,
we'll let y'all have a stadium or something.
Yeah, like go to MetLife. Go to Miami. Like, what y'all scared of?
Well, they do have Daly's place in Jacksonville, but I don't know.
I'm saying, like, yo, you can't have one in Orlando. Like,
I honestly want to go to it All In.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, like, especially after this last one, I was like, yo, they did a really good job. I know it was like 83 matches. I'm like, but the matches were great. Like, it was a great, for real, like, it was a great PLE.
It was a really
like,
great
yo,
one.
what y'all scared of? Like, are you scared of the United States audience? Like, what is it?
I mean, you did well in Texas.
That's exactly why.
What is it, Tony? What is it?
Like, you got Arizona, you got Cali, you got Denver, you got Detroit,
You
like
New York, you get Texas, you get LA,
you got Atlanta,
Florida.
You got so many places you can go. St. Louis. Like, what's up? Like, why we keep hitting up Wembley?
You can do New Orleans.
Hey, while you playing though, that'd be fire for them. All In New Orleans would be fire for them.
It would be fire.
Fantastic.
That'd be good for them. I don't even know why they didn't. They should have grabbed it. Wait. What's their biggest one? What's their biggest PLE?
For AEW?
Yeah.
All In.
They should switch it. They should go to New Orleans. And especially right now with WrestleMania backing out, New Orleans need that.
That would be dope.
New Orleans need that. And Caesar Dome, they packed that out.
All in Brooklyn would be
All
in Brooklyn would be sickening because you know what? You said All in Brooklyn, and it right away took me back to NXT takeover and how
oh my god,
Brooklyn
Barclays Center.
Yeah,
that would be wild.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd be down for that.
Courtney, go talk to your homie. Man.
Tony Khan. Well, Tony Khan and everybody at AEW, I hope you're listening, but I'm excited they're going back to Wembley Stadium. I'm trying to go to Wembley next year because trying to get WWT to go international. So that's a thing that's on my bucket list. But yep, it's official. They're going to be back in London next year. So who knows?
Not the Genius Cake special little nobodies. Not the Genius Cake.
Oh my god.
All I know is EO, you ain't gotta do all that, yo. You ain't gotta do all that.
No, she definitely won't.
You ain't gotta do all that. Like EO, your face card enough.
Okay.
Like,
listen, not for nothing. Side note, yo, Io Sky is absolutely beautiful. Like, she's so pretty. She's like a porcelain doll. Like when I met her at WrestleMania 40, sitting next to her, and at the time Dakota Kai, like for Damage Control, like I look at the pictures that I have with them, and I'm looking at Io, and I'm like, she is sitting. Her face card is
like no makeup is even better. Like
so
I don't understand how makeup dropped her face down. Because like when it's off, she's even more beautiful.
Yeah. And she's
I'm
so
like,
cute.
yo,
like, she's so
yeah,
cute.
like everything just changed.
She's great.
it was crazy watching her from Japan, and now it's like, yo, it ain't no joke when they say like when you start getting older, like when your features really set in. Because I'm like, yo,
all of the women that we've seen growing before our eyes, like even Bailey, Becky, like even the horsewomen, like even Mercedes, like Rhea, even like her features, like everybody's just like their glow up when they reach that glow up stage.
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Like even Alexa, even Naomi right now, she's glowing.
Listen, Naomi's been glowing.
Well, I mean, Naomi's
been glowing.
Yeah, Naomi ain't had to change.
She's
like
been glowing. She's been glowing.
She been here. She been here for decades.
Speaking of been here. No way.
Yeah, man. They need to do another like natural photo shoot like they did that one time with like Rhea, Bianca, and them. They need to do that again.
Oh my God, I remember that.
They need to do that, especially with all the women here now. That'd be a dope photo shoot.
Yeah,
that would be a dope photo shoot.
Well, speaking of making an appearance, finally made an appearance. Well, actually, I can't give him enough. I can't be too bad because he did do the post show on Monday. So it's our other official. And I can't knock him for that. So it's your mayor.
Wait, don't you be doing them?
I already took my jabs in this week. I did it Monday. I did it during my watch along Wednesday. So
okay, I was like, wait, I thought I've seen him on like the Raw recaps for a couple of weeks.
I'm not saying nothing. Hi, Ced. Oh, I like your shirt.
I didn't hear the intro. Was that supposed to be my introduction?
Yeah, that was supposed to be your intro. That was supposed to be.
I didn't know that was your
my sound just cutting in and out. I'm gonna you guys can hear me though, right?
We hear you perfectly. Yeah.
Yes.
Just don't know if you can hear us, but we can hear you.
My internet's been like really. I hear y'all. Okay. I didn't hear the intro. It sounded it was incomplete. I will say. Can we?
He would like to be brought out and then brought back in properly.
Say his name and he appears. I believe it said.
Okay. Now.
He needs to be the full one.
He wants to get the full entrance.
I thought you were gonna do the Lyra one.
I forever still love that one. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
This is what happens when TK leaves, man.
That's my favorite one. When he turned around, that shit was always great.
Hilarious. I remember when we came up with
all right, what are we talking about?
So you're just in time. We were just talking about AEW. They're going back to Wembley next year, August 30th. And just want to get your quick thoughts on returning to Wembley Stadium.
And why they so scared to like do stuff in America.
I can tell you emphatically, since July 12th, I have not watched the AEW product for reasons that should be well known.
Really?
Until Mr. Khan corrects his wrongs, the mayor will have no affiliation with the AEW brand.
And she still got her belt though?
She's upset because my client gave her first loss on Saturday.
I mean,
if you gonna lose to anybody though.
What did you think? What did you think was gonna happen? Said
I'm gonna be honest. Say it before you ask that though. I didn't think that's how that was gonna go. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I did not think that's how that match was gonna go. I really thought Mercedes was
I don't know what story we're trying to tell. Yeah, I don't know what kind of story we're trying to tell here. But I don't know how you just run the table across the globe and then we don't win in front of the biggest audience they've had in the States here. So I don't understand. I also don't understand why it wasn't the main event. I was kind of happy with the Hangman thing. You know, it felt good, a little overbooked, but it felt good. I get it. But the women should have been in the main event. And I can tell it was flat for me. I like the fan theories I'm seeing all around the internets about like, oh, it took 7 of Tony's finishers and Mercedes did every finish that she had in her previous matches to win belts on Tony, and it didn't work. So I just hope that when they bring it back around, it makes sense to me when she finally wins. But we got to come back for that strong title pretty soon, pretty rapidly. But yeah, AEW doing some good things. I think London's their bread and butter. I think that's why they're going back to London, just because that's like their bread and butter with the international audience. You got to think about it. The WWE is a global powerhouse, but if they can corner that UK market, especially for some of the up and coming superstars in the UK, it just makes sense to kind of be there.
But man, I'm trying to go to one. Like
that's why we're really mad that they won't.
Yeah, like especially after this last one, it's like, so y'all can't come to Vegas again. Y'all can't go to MetLife, like we said, Brooklyn, and go to Barclays Center. Like, I think that'd be great for y'all, and especially with the promo work y'all be doing. I'm like, why not? But I do understand why Tony won, though, man. I've been watching her like interviews. Yo, Tony's in her bag right now. Like,
I can't think of a time when she's not. I can't think of a time.
Nah, it's different now. I don't know why. Ever since like the Mariah May thing, like it's been turned up. Like I don't know who's coaching her, where she pulling this. Like I don't even recognize like the old Tony anymore. Like the ones we used to with the hats, the punk rocker. Like somebody had brought that up, and I was like, "Yo, who is that?" I really forgot who that was. Like
isn't that the problem though?
Nah, you in the cat like yo, she like not comparing the two, but like similar, like slight similarities. She's damn near Ric Flair in this thing.
True.
Sure is.
I just feel like Tony should be able to promote multiple at their peaks at both times. Like that's the only reason I had a problem with the finish.
I just love her. I love her rousing speeches. I think they just get better and better. Like the things that come out of that woman's mouth is just bona fide fire. And I'm just like, I can't believe you just said that. But you know what? I'm with it. I'm with it.
Even in people's interviews, like when she's sitting with them and talking.
Oh, she's so funny.
Yeah, and it's like she does not give up. Like when she was like, great, thank you for keeping them clean. I'm like,
hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Okay. And even when she answers people's questions in Media Scrum, like when she was answering Courtney and she was like, when she heard women's wrestling talk, and she was like, oh, yes, darling. Like she was all in it. Like I freaking love Toni Storm.
Yeah, like
she's the reason why I still watch AEW. That period, point blank. But between her and Swerve, the only reasons why I still watch.
I mean, my client, need I say more? She's doing what she does best. I don't have to worry about her. But since, honey, you have to get off. We have a pay-per-view happening this weekend regarding Slammiversary, TNA, one of the biggest ones. Also said, and well, you guys weren't on, but if you have not heard the news, AJ Styles will be making an appearance at Slammiversary this weekend, and wanted to get your quick thoughts on coming back to the original home where AJ Styles built.
Is this a safe space?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I love when he asks that because I know some shit's coming out of his mouth.
Yes, it is.
They shouldn't have announced that. They should not have announced that.
You're right.
They should have let us be surprised with that. Like for real. They should have we should have not seen that coming. Because now we're thinking of like who's the aspect of like, why are you coming back? Is it to be celebrated? Who's coming out to talk shit to you? Does this lead to something else? Like now you have 1,000 questions going on that also slightly take away from everybody else that's going to be a part of this card. Like if you'd have had it where his music just hit and he walked out, I'd have lost my shit.
That place is going to erupt. That place would have erupted for sure.
Would have blew up. Like yo, that like they'd have been like, hey, this is the reason why we didn't have to be on last weekend because we wanted to make sure we was by ourselves for this.
True.
Said you got any thoughts regarding the announcement of AJ Styles making his return to TNA?
The timing of it is interesting because I know it feels like it was building towards this whole time. Because I know it came out that they wanted him in the Hall of Fame, I think last year, and he came out and said it was like very unprofessional. So maybe he was just trying to keep things low. for this moment. But I'm with Councilman. I kind of wish they didn't announce it per se, and he just pulled up. Because then you bring in cross viewership. Because if whatever I'm doing, I'm probably gonna stop what I'm doing and tune in at that point. But
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You want to build more hype around the show. They're calling it the biggest show. They've been doing these vignettes with Enzo Amore and showing that like him, Zilla, and others are going to be showing up too. They're really trying to throw all their eggs in one basket.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, it's kind of the worst kept secret at this point because you could have saved it for Sunday. I get it. People have been teasing about it, but you could have like left it low key. But we shall see what he does because Slammiversary is this Sunday. And just a quick facts in there, their whole front, like the front row that they have is sold out from what they posted on TNA socials. And apparently they're looking for reactions for Sunday's Slammiversary. So pretty much if you want to send anything regarding it, if people are live streaming everywhere, you can tag them on TNA socials. But pretty much jumping right into the match card. Also, shout out to Busted Open. Some of the people from the Busted Open panel will be there on the countdown to Slammiversary. So have to give a quick shout out to them. And also, we do have a match on the countdown to Slammiversary. The TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, the Elegance brand against the Inspiration. I will start with Ced. Who do you got in this match between these two teams?
I don't like the Ash by Elegance name still, but the Inspiration had a big return. I think it's time for them to kind of set their mark, and I think it's going to parlay into something with WWE programming because there's some rumors around that. So I'll give the Inspiration the win.
Honey?
Time for the Iconics to redefine their inspiration moving forward. So let us go with the Inspiration.
Will?
I am with both of them. More with the mayor. I do not like the name Ash by Elegance.
I hated that. There's no offense. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this offends someone, but I hated that name.
It sounds like a perfume. Like, and then when
Yeah.
you find out it's not, you just like, oh, that's someone's name. Nah. And I'm always gonna rock with the Iconics. I still to this day think like WWE dropped the ball. So yo, go show them what they missing. Let them girls get them titles and do just like how they did Elijah, excuse me, when they pop up in TNA. Let them go to NXT and let them blow the roof off of.
I think this is a clean sweep. I'm picking the Inspirations for these girls. Since they came back to Against All Odds, they've shown time again. It's time to give these girls some belts.
Yeah.
Clean sweep.
Give them their name back too, man. Give them the Iconics back.
Seriously, just let them have it.
You should. Okay, we have a title versus title. Masha Slamovich, JC Jane. Pretty much whoever wins this match gets one belt. Will, I'm gonna go with you because you are Mr. NXT. So, floor is yours, sir.
Me. Anybody else hear that but me?
I hear that too.
Oh, okay. If this don't end in a disqualification, like somebody messes this match up, JC Jane finna walk away with both of them belts. JC Jane finna walk away with both of them belts. Because I'll ask this: what sells more, Masha versus Blake Monroe, or the JC Jane story they've been pushing?
Yeah,
and costing Jordan that evolution.
Okay.
And then I don't know who the two behind her. I know that's Zia Lee and stuff or whatever she go by now. That ain't no group. That ain't no team. Masha, you out there by yourself, unfortunately. And the one thing JC got, even though they bicker, them two gonna be by her side in that match.
Yeah, I would have to trust the fact that Fatal Influence is a more tight knit unit. You know what I mean? So they always do well with the numbers game.
Hold on. Because I just thought about something. This one hard. This difficult. Because do you really give 2 NXT stars your titles?
That's crazy.
Because if she win, that means Trick definitely losing that this Sunday. Because do you really have 2 NXT stars holding both of your top titles? So I'm gonna stick with a disqualification. I'm gonna stick with a no contest. I'm gonna stick with we don't get a winner.
Said.
And play it safe.
Mike is off.
You're on mute.
There you go. I got you.
Remember when Mandy Rose beat the final boss and unified the NXT UK Championship with the NXT title? That's kind of where we're heading. And I think JC Jane's legend is going to only grow because this is more about establishing JC Jane as a main event player than anything else. I think Masha is already stamped just because she's the one that dethroned Jordan Grace. She got that in her back pocket to show up whenever. And also the stuff she's working on in Bloodsport. She has a match coming up against Natty in Bloodsport in the next month or so. So I think this is a good way. And I don't think this is this isn't a shot at Masha. I think this is a TKO thing where they believe in these NXT stars boosting the brand more than the current landscape of TNA superstars. So whatever time period it has, and I'm not saying JC's going to have a long title reign, but for a quarter, 60 days, she's going to be JC 2 belts. Just because her whole gimmick right now is, I'm going to get my respect by any means.
True.
And fortunately, Masha just going to be in the way of that. I don't think it's going to be clean. I think she's going to cheat to win. But, yeah, they're going to put these NXT stars to try to get more viewership on TNA.
And Masha champ for a while.
I'm going to have to piggyback and jump on that wagon. Because I, for some reason, didn't see Masha winning.
I'm still playing the safe no contest. Second, JC. I just throwing that out there.
I think I'm going to go with JC Jane only because to continue that momentum and also because she's doing something with Blake Monroe. I think that also I would not be shocked, and this is just me, this is just wishful thinking. I would not be shocked if Blake Monroe actually watched this match in particular because of JC. So at least that continues it, but I do see JC getting the 2 belts.
Okay, can I be honest real quick? Can I say something?
Yes.
I didn't really watch Great American Bash last week. There's a lot of wrestling going on. I actually watched the entire AEW pay-per-view. That was my contribution to the brand. But is it telling to you guys that Blake already turned heel? And to me, I think that says more about her lack of range and being a babyface than the actual need for her to be a heel on NXT.
Well, I think it was more so because it was also the anniversary of when she flipped the script on Tony. And I think it was probably NXT's way of doing, trying to one up or do one better in the same situation to kind of where is that sound coming from?
But did they stick the landing?
I think it did. Just for the simple fact that, I don't even think it's being limited. I think it's really just a simple fact that when you're just that good at it, why would you hold it? No, that's definitely said. Yeah.
I was like, who is that noise?
I'm like, Lord, I was like, I know it's not me. I know it sounds like bees and buzzing and shit, but
I was like, girl, you got the whites over there. What y'all doing?
I was like, it's not me. I had to put myself on mute. I was like, is it me?
I don't know why. It sounds like you got a lawnmower over there.
What does it sound like?
It just sounds like buzzing. Like when somebody got their lawnmower on and they
sound like static too, like static and buzzing.
Is it gone?
Not
it
really.
is now, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's my laptop.
No, I can't hear it.
No, it's back now.
No? Okay, I don't know what it is, man.
No. Now it's gone. I don't know what you just. Yeah. Oh,
He just muted his mic.
No, I don't know what you just did now, but it worked.
Well, we can go on to the next match. Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali. These two guys have been going at it since Cedric Alexander made his shocking appearance on TNA. And I'll start with Will. Who do you got in this match?
I don't care. No, and not like I don't care about the match. I don't care which one win. We win. That's who wins.
Honestly,
incredible.
You're absolutely right. You're
I don't care who wins. I just want to see this match. This match is insane. We getting the WrestleMania cruiserweight title match from
basically. That's what I love about this match. They were two favorites of mine to watch together. They always faced off really well.
This finna be ridiculous. That's
why I don't care who wins this.
I don't care who wins. We win.
We won. We won with this. Yeah.
Said, who do you got in this match? You got Cedric Alexander or Mustafa Ali?
I got Ali.
I'm picking Cedric Alexander. I mean, at this point, I don't care who wins, but just seeing, if you've never seen them in 205, please go see all their matches. Please go see.
Just watch this, or just watch this Sunday, and you'll see why.
Period.
Just watch this, then go back and watch those. You'll be like, "Good Lord!" Like, it's two dudes from a video game come to life.
Basically,
it is. We have Indy Hartwell taking on Tessa Blanchard.
Is there a stipulation to this?
I don't think so.
So they're not neither one of them will become the number one contender or anything?
Nah, because I was looking through all socials on TNA and they didn't add anything. It's just them going one-on-one.
I feel like they should have added that for this match, especially the anniversary.
Indy Hartwell don't need a stipulation to beat Tessa Blanchard's ass.
Yeah, but I just want to see Indy Hartwell go up for the Knockouts Championship.
Oh yeah, well, me too.
That's the only reason why I'm saying it. Yeah, I'm going with Indy.
Let's go, Indy.
Said.
Across the board, I got Indy too.
Yeah, it's pretty much a clean sweep. I'm going with Indy Hartwell. Indy's been putting a lot of work since she's been in TNA, and I would like for her to keep continuing that momentum, and I would like to see her get some gold soon. Ooh. Did I miss a match? Okay. TNA X Division Championship. Moose taking on Leon Slater.
I mean, Leon is doing double duty working here in an AEW, so yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. After watching him during that X Division what it was ladder match and how he lost and was some bullshit. Yeah, man, I'm going Leon Slater, man. Go ahead and get that X Division title.
Honey.
Yeah, Leon. I think the Moose era is coming to an end.
Said.
Oh, he might be freezing.
Oh, yes.
Oh. Okay. Well, I thought he was meditating.
That's what I thought too. It looks like it.
He was taking a breath or something.
I thought he was thinking of something too. Just
yeah.
Dad, if you can hear me.
So we'll be back with my regular scheduled programming Monday when I get my corporate laptop. This laptop is so old. So if it's buffering and all that, it's not the internet, it's the speed of the laptop.
Because I think that's why that sound going. I think it's overheating. Yeah.
This laptop is like past its time. But
that's why
I got Moose.
That's that buzzing sound. You going with Moose?
Yeah, I got Moose.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Leon Slater. I actually did watch his promo last night in TNA. I'm picking Dylan.
LimeWire, dog.
Oh my god, that's a throwback right there.
LimeWire, Dylan.
Remember Napster?
Oh my god.
Remember Morpheus or Napster?
Oh dear God, Napster. Well, we have this match: The System, Matt Cardona taking on Dark State.
This one I don't care. This one I just Why is Matt Cardona in this match? What did I miss?
Well,
they jumped him.
Yeah, they jumped him on TNA. Dark State invaded TNA. And then the system came out this past week on NXT.
I saw that. I did see that. But I'm like, bro, like Dark State just ain't doing it for me. I'm going the system. You can't beat the system.
Honey?
I don't know what kind of fantasy general manager I would be if I didn't pick my first pick, Matt Cardona. So I'm going with the system.
Of course, you would stick with your first round pick. Says.
See, TK ain't the only one with money around here. You see how I just fixed that? Again, I'm going to piggyback off the councilman. I can care less about this match. I can care less about Dark State. So I'm going to pick against them and pick the system with Matt Cardona.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the system, Matt Cardona. Also, Alicia Edwards. Need I say more? Always an X factor in there.
Yeah.
And, did I skip a movie? Did I skip?
Yeah, I saw some Rascals.
Yes. Fatal 4-way match. TNA World Tag Team titles in the ladder match. The Rascals, the Nemeths, the Hardys, and First Class.
This match gonna go so hard.
Whoa, this one hard. This difficult.
This match gonna go so hard. This match, it's always the tag teams that go hard for with TNA, man. And the fact that you have the Hardys doesn't make the pick any easier.
And it's hard because the Hardys said it last night on TNA, saying like if they don't win, they're gonna hang up, quote unquote, hang up their boots. Which,
yeah, it's done. It's done. They ain't winning. They not winning.
Who's Hardys not winning? You said?
Yeah, that mean they finna come to WWE and get ready to retire. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
who are the defending champions?
The Nemeths.
The
Nemeths. Okay.
Which I ain't gonna lie, they got great strategy to like sneak off with these titles.
Yeah, I like it for them. I feel like they could skate their way out of this, still champs. It's gonna showcase all of the tag teams in a great light either way. To see AJ Francis in this match, I can't wait to see what this big boy gonna do. But yeah, I think I'll stick with the Nemeths keeping it.
Said.
I'm actually going to go against the grain. I'm going to pick First Class.
You see me threw it up. I'm the same thing, bro. I'm going First Class with this one. I think they're going to shock us all. I think, and I also think AJ Francis. Yeah, I think the ladder's going to be gone. AJ Francis is going to pick old boy up, have him sit on his shoulders to take the titles down.
Oh my God, that would be great.
Crazy. I would pick the Nemeths, but I'm actually going to go left field. I think we're going to get new tag team champions. I do see First Class getting them, and I don't know why, but I have a feeling they may have something to do with the TNA title picture in their quote-unquote alliance with Trick. So that's also something to consider. And and also this match right here, because if you have not watched this the last couple of weeks, Enzo made a promo, and he said he was going to bring backup.
Yo, this TNA versus Fourth Rope.
Yeah,
like literally, yo, like this is going to be great.
And it's crazy. Westside Gunn made a post about it too earlier today.
How did
this is making my face like
I'm so conflicted with how this actually works behind the scenes.
What?
Because this is Fourth Rope. Fourth Rope, obviously owned by Westside Gunn. We know that Westside Gunn, they have a relationship with AEW because of the stuff with the Hurt Syndicate. But this is TNA, which is under TKO connection with WWE. Does this mean that there's a play where maybe WWE is trying to purchase Fourth Rope?
I mean, maybe because remember, Joe Hendry was there with the one we went to in Vegas.
Yeah.
We had Elijah there too. So we had a whole bunch of TNA people at Fourth Rope. So I could see it. It's really, I think it's one of those like who goes to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
But I don't think but I don't the only reason why I would say I don't see it with TKO just because doesn't like MVP now own a portion of it?
Yeah, he's like a commissioner there.
Yeah, so I don't know if exactly he would sell it, but I could see them saying like, hey, let's partner on something.
Yeah. Interesting play here.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the fourth row guys to win.
Likewise.
Honey.
Never bet against Zilla.
I'm not. I would never do that. Or the real one, Enzo Amore.
How you doing?
And we met him too. We met Enzo.
It was so great.
I can't go. Yeah, I can't go against Enzo. So I gotta pick the guys from fourth row. Can't do that.
I've seen Enzo on occasion. Actually, there was 2 times where I saw him. I saw him twice in the parking lot of Giants Stadium. He was literally parked across from me and Pachu at the Giants game, just chilling, tailgating.
Yeah. You know what? What's funny? Speaking of lost footage, me and Enzo actually did 420 content together, but the camera people messed the stuff up and it never got a chance to air. This was like right after his WWE release, and he was just looking to be featured on stuff.
Yeah.
Had him on an episode and the thing messed up and we wasn't able to air it.
Oh man. Shout outs to the real one.
Yeah, shout outs to Enzo. And this match, Joe Hendry, Trick Williams, Mike Santana for the TNA World Title.
Here's my question before anyone answers. Where are we in TNA and then leading into 2026? Which one of these 3 is the right fit for the direction that TNA is going right now? If we could just think about that for a second.
You talking about going into 2026, who's the right fit?
Yeah.
Mike Santana.
Going into 2026, Mike Santana is the right fit.
Mm-hmm.
However, we're still early in the year.
I think Trick is still in that limbo where you can use his notoriety to boost this brand, but he's still not quite ready for the main roster. I think there's another storyline that's going to play out with him because I've been noticing we got the Dark State stuff. He affiliated, he's a leader, but he's quietly been saying, I'm him lately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that might be something where he gets a visit from his past. You can play that because Melo's not doing anything on SmackDown anyway.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's been saying that a lot lately.
Yeah. And then Hendry got to wrestle Randy Orton at WrestleMania. I'm fully convinced Hendry might be your Intercontinental Champion before the year is up.
Facts, bro. I'm just like, when you leaving and coming to the big show?
Joe Hendry isn't coming until the big show until John Cena's last day. That's when Joe Hendry's coming.
That's too big of an endorser for him. I'm not on that train no more.
But you know that
he's hit every single PLE.
Not the last one, no, honey. Not the last one. But you know what I would say? I could see Joe Hendry at SummerSlam.
I could
2 nights.
It is 2 nights. They got to fill that out.
2 nights for SummerSlam.
Exactly, and they already kind of lacking of the fact we got Jelly Roll in the match. So if Jelly Roll gonna be there, why would Joe Hendry not be there?
The late night thing sold me a couple days ago. I was on my board now.
I ain't not on board with it, but I'm like, all right, I see what y'all.
I'm not there yet, but either way, regardless, if you're talking if you're talking about the direction of First Class getting titles, then I would say Trick keeps this title. But for shits and giggles, and because what we just said, I gotta go with my loud and proud Boricua from the Bronx. It's only right. Mike Santana. I'm just gonna pull for him.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Mike Santana. I mean, hey, he's been there from the beginning. He bleeds TNA, and he's a proud Boricua from the Bronx. You can't go up against a man that's from New York.
Or Boricuas from New York, period.
So I'm
Yes,
picking
the fuck I can. I'm going Trick Williams.
Yeah, I got Trick, and I think we get the reveal finally. This long-winded reveal that he's affiliated with Dark State, and they help him win.
Right.
Well, we shall see. And also with the
Dark
fact
State
too,
needs it more than Trick needs it. By the way, don't nobody give a damn about Dark State.
Nah, you got two factions. Trick can go with either way, and I think, like y'all said, this worked for him and being his final thing because you know what it is too. Mike Santana needs to beat Trick 1-on-1.
Yes, it has to be 1-on-1 between them two, and then he can win that title.
Yeah, because if we're being honest, if you're looking at this picture, Joe Hendry has outgrew TNA. There's no reason to give him this title back. You are now a shark in a pond, and it's time for you to go to the big ocean.
Yep.
Mike Santana is the face of TNA right now. That's who everybody's behind. I saw that when we were at a TNA show, when we were at Rebellion, and he came down from the audience. All those people are behind him, but he has to beat him 1-on-1. And Trick has to at least have about 2 more title defenses and have a little faction for himself to really establish this full run of TNA and NXT before going up. And him and Carmelo have to go against each other for this title.
Like basically how I'm gonna leave it is you basically deep blue seed this thing. Joe Hendry was a shark that you experimented on. He caught on and got smarter. Now he wants to break out because he wants to be free in the big ocean. So let him roam because that's what we want too. So let's just do it.
Well, Trick Williams is LL Cool J, and he survived that movie.
He should.
He survived in this match.
Yo, that man said, "You ate my bird." Flip the lighter at it.
Well, that just wraps up our bold predictions for TNA Slammiversary. Good way to end the bold predictions, but it's this Sunday. I kind of want to watch it. I kind of want to watch it on Sunday. It looks pretty good.
I think I'm going to watch it too.
I mean, we should. I think. Oh, well, no, I'll say that loud. I'm surprised y'all not going.
Huh?
I'm surprised y'all not going. It's in Long Beach. I mean, in Long Island, right?
Long Island's a hike, man.
Yeah, that's a hike, Long Island.
Sorry.
From Jersey, it's a hike.
It's a hike.
I don't know geography.
I don't either.
It really is a hike.
New York geography and transit is.
But we'll find one final story before we get out of here because I know Honey has to do her Honey Night SmackDown. Just a quick news. Buff Bagwell, he had to undergo leg amputation today. And this kind of stems from a 2020 car accident that left him without a kneecap. And he was speaking to Maven on Maven's YouTube channel about this when he got into a car accident in 2020 that his kneecap was caved in. So he underwent multiple surgeries throughout the years, but soon enough he had to get his amputated leg in. But he is making a speedy recovery and doing rehab.
Yeah, man. Best wishes to the big guy. Big buff
We're
man.
gonna finish on a brighter note than that. I fuck with Buff Bagwell. That's hard to see.
Yeah, I thought it was something else too. So that's all I'm gonna be quiet.
I've been seeing that all on Twitter all morning. That's just hard to see.
It's heartbreaking.
It's
so heartbreaking.
It's very hard. And also, if you saw his story on Dark Side of the Ring, it was. I mean, I don't want to say it was crazy, but it was just so interesting seeing the story from where he grew up, WCW, then getting released by WWE, and then after.
Buff Bagwell has lived some lives, y'all. Like real talk, the person y'all think that Shawn Michaels was in the 90s, Buff Bagwell really lived them raps.
Really lived.
Yeah. That man was like a real for-hire gigolo. At one point.
Oh my god, gigolo!
Nah, for real.
I'm not joking about that.
Yeah, like this dude is. I don't want it to be Dark Side of the Ring, but like that dude got a story for real.
Yeah,
for real. Yeah.
But it's sad, but also too though. Hey, at least he's still alive. He still got his health. Even from the images I've seen, like it's messed up. But at the same time too, like with the way life is right now with technology, advancement in medicine, like my man can still have that a leg attached to him and still be living a full and healthy life, man. It may be done for him in the ring and stuff like that, but bro, he still get to keep living. He still get to be with his family. He still get to be with his friends, and he still get to be able to receive all the love for everything that he's done for us in his career. So I'm just glad that he's still striving on.
Big prayers, big prayers.
Yeah, sending love to Buff Bagwell, wishing him a speedy recovery. And just happy to see him alive and kicking. So
Yeah.
But I know Honey, she has to get ready for
Too
him.
soon, Courtney.
Too soon. What else?
Too
What else do
soon.
you want to talk
I
about?
guess-
Kicking. Wow, Courtney. Wow.
I guess this is, you know what? I guess this is the week of the week of too soon, because I pulled the same thing earlier this week, Courtney. So don't feel bad.
I
definitely don't take it back though, because I was in my tribal chief mode. I honestly was.
Well, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything else?
I would like to, since Cedric wasn't here, I just want to throw this out again. Our next WWT debate should be who's the greatest Canadian wrestler of all time.
Ooh, I like that, because I have a long theory that the best wrestler of all time is Canadian and not American or anything else.
I think that's a dope debate.
That would be a fun debate too. I would feel that.
So are we
let you know now? It ain't
get down? No. Are we just nominating the names that are top of mind, or just like there's a bunch?
I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with a list. See what makes the cut. What name gets mentioned more and makes the cut.
So how about this? We get a list made. We can ask ChatGPT to list like the greatest 50 Canadian wrestlers.
It's gonna come down to Brett and Chris, right?
Nah, because you got
Owen.
Edge. You got Edge, Owen, you got Chris Jericho,
you got Talia, you got the boat, bro.
You got a lot. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I'm not even saying that about Brett to disrespect him. Like, you got a lot of people from Canada. When you start looking at it, like, ooh, because Edge up there.
We talking about the best, and hold on. We talking about the best, and our minds don't go to Brett like immediately though.
Nah.
I see the last storm
over Edge.
Mine does.
Over Edge.
Yes.
Nah. Over you think you know me? Over Chris Jericho?
We're gonna be here forever. I gotta watch
it.
Oh my God.
Right, Jericho. Come on, that's what I said. So we'll do a list, maybe like top 40 for an episode. We'll have us in the comments like knock out who shouldn't be there till we at least get to like top 5 and then vote on who's the best.
Oh, we can do the if we can really pull like a list of 50, we can do the elimination game that we talked about.
Yeah, we can.
Mm-hmm.
Go around the panel, everybody just pick a name off the list till we get to one.
Yep. And then let the crowd help as well. Don't worry, honey. You know Brett gonna make it.
I'm not worried.
I would also like to nominate Goldberg as a Canadian liaison. Just to throw that in there. Can we do Canadian liaisons? And I nominate Goldberg.
Goldberg might be doing another final lap in AEW real soon. He didn't
No. He needs to say what state.
His name is Bill. His name is Bill.
His name is Silverberg now. Silverberg. Good old Silverberg. Honey, you got your revenge. Don't get that look. You got your revenge. Oh, Brett. Because the way they did him at Saturday Night Main Event, atrocious.
Oh my God.
Atrocious.
That's because they had Brett in the back in production.
Probably.
I would not be shocked if they did.
That's why imagine Brett pulled up to NBC like flick and then left.
Now, which one of these buttons go to the next show? Be like this one. You can't do it yet. The match ain't started. All right. Why it ain't switching yet? It's on a timer, Brett.
It'll be okay.
That's a good question. Special little nobodies. Who are you referring to when you say judging the art, not the artist?
I know who it is. I know who it is.
I already know who you're talking
I already know with Canada.
Ooh, damn. Yeah, because aren't we going to talk about him?
Oh, you talking about, Mr. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. My mind didn't even go there. Yeah,
I didn't even think about it.
He came up in my mind.
He got to go on the list though. He got to go.
From Canada.
I don't know, but we'll have to see.
I mean, but that also take into account. So we'll see what he do. I feel like he should go on there just to give a fair shot.
Sure. Yeah. I just don't know how do our minds not immediately go to like Brett Owen, and I'm acknowledging Chris too because of longevity. But you talk about the person that started it, like my mind just goes to Brett.
I mean, I get it, but there you can't say it in a debate there because y'all saying that. I know a lot of people that'll say Edge is the best one. I know a few other people that'll say Trish Stratus is the best Canadian wrestler that ever come out of Canada. Because she paved the way for a whole generation of women wrestlers. Brett didn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't?
There's about 4 people that does the sharpshooter. There are about 900 women.
What does that have to do with
It's
it?
the style, though.
Oh my God.
Brett style carries weight.
Just letting you know who was a groundbreaker and who just wore pink.
Brett was the first.
There's
He
so
was
many
the
people that
first-
say
No, he wasn't. He was not the first Canadian.
No, not the first Canadian wrestler, but I'm just saying the first, like, to bring that technicality in wrestling, like after being being first, stemming from the third or second, whatever generation it was from Stu Hart. It is, yeah. But I guess.
Honey, I want you to really think about what you just said.
I have to go.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Your hunger is kicking in.
Well,
Your
It
hunger
is.
kicking in.
yes,
It is.
she does.
Fine.
She has
I got
to go.
I got an audience to be energized for it.
Yeah, and making
So-
clear sense.
Friday. This is a Friday edition. It's a better way to get up for Friday. And honey, where can the people find you?
Y'all could find me at I Said What I Said at don'tdroptheball.com. Also, as well as Honey Night SmackDown tonight, 8 p.m. I will be here. Make sure you meet me there. Get your snacks. Got some action going on. All things Wrestling with Honey on the socials, Wrestling with Honey podcast on YouTube, and WrestlingWithHoney.com. Launching in 2026.
Well, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Brett Should Have Kept His Hands Up on all socials. Find my book coming out, What If He Did Keep His Hands Up, and just making a timeline of what might have happened. Also, I
love that it's that Brett. I love that it's that Brett should have put his hands up, but not Goldberg should have had proper fucking training. You made me drop it.
Whose fault is that? Not his. Not his. And you for sure won't say that about Roman should have had proper training, will you? Yeah. You think about that. I will say this though.
You cannot compare Roman and Goldberg. That's first off. You can't do that.
I know because Roman's better. But
yes, he is.
Yeah, we know. But yeah, you can find me at y'all know where to find me, man. So Connie can go get ready for this SmackDown thing. Because she's not gonna leave it. And we're gonna keep talking shit to each other.
Said, where can the people find you?
You guys know my socials. I don't need you to find me. In regards to the Monday Nightmare
No,
watch,
nobody wants to hear nothing. Nobody wants to be
take his handles out. I just noticed.
Oh my god, it's dot. Wait.
Oh, I just realized
that is great, sir. That is great. Oh my god, I just
Why
took it a step further.
Like I said, y'all know where to find me. I need to be found. When it comes to a Monday Nightmare watch along, you guys will receive it when you receive it. Stop DMing me asking for times. The time is not consistent. It might be 7:30 p.m. It might be midnight. It might be 2 a.m. When you get the notification, just pull up and we're going to recap. It will never be a watch along again. I'm just saying that on record. It will be a recap only. And follow my TikTok at Cedric the Answer. There's content going up there every week. That's the only place I want to be found right now.
I'm gonna have to apply that with the NXT until I find out how to make clips. I'm just gonna have to catch this recap. Actually, so I can find someone to watch NXT. I'm gonna have to pass this on to Courtney. Because your boy does not have cable, and nowhere.
Well, the people can find me chirping periodically. You already know Wednesdays. It's Timeless Elite Wednesday. Yeah, you guys know it's Timeless Elite Wednesdays with me. Make sure to check out because they're in Chicago for the next 2 weeks. So make sure to pull up with me on the watch along. We're on the road to Forbidden Door, so we're just getting started. You can also check out my watch along from AEW All in Texas. With I had the thrills, the excitement, the laugh, the tears, everything. But especially with my client. Just saying. But anyways, they can follow me on all my socials at CourtneyNJ11. I just posted a new interview video with Gabby Ortiz from Bell to Bell. We did talk about 90s Wrestling Con, and shout outs to her because she's competing tomorrow at one of the events for Bell to Bell for the Diamond Championship match against the Notorious Mimi. So make sure to check out women's wrestling in the independent circuit. So we always love to see that. Feel free to check out all my content. And I got more content happening because I may do a clip from my interview with Westside Gun because it was an interesting one. And also from All in Texas. But feel free to check us out. Also check out my other siblings on Kayfabe podcast. The last episode was really funny. You definitely want to check that out. And also shout outs to all of us on the team. Shout outs and also supporting Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a great weekend.
When I see you,
Be
Luther.
safe.
It's on site.
Bye, Deontay. Bye, Deontay.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.